Spider ETF wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Tuesday, the 30th of August. Hard to believe tomorrow's the last trading day of the month, and we're already going into pretty soon fall. But that is the way that it is. It is August 30th today. So as we look at the markets, another down day. All the stock indices again got hit. Energy prices down pretty hard today. And the market's reeling because worldwide, all you keep hearing about is central bankers are going to raise rates. The big battle now in Europe is, will the ECB go for a 75 basis point hike? Because inflation, not good. Forget the UK, they're really not part of the EU any longer. But Germany is, and Germany's looking at decades high inflation. The Germans don't like that. So you're going to see a lot of battles shaping up there, and you're getting it in other countries, one after the other, as this is a worldwide phenomena caused by a multitude of things. I was reading today, just before we began this, how in the United States they want to talk to the farmers, 1,500 different counties now, to give them a program to double crop where possible. Typically, example, where you plant soybeans, if you plant late winter, in winter, it's called winter wheat, and you plant it, you can harvest it just before you'd actually plant soybeans come the spring. And that's why it's called winter wheat. You'll get two crops out of it. Now the problem is, in something like that, the wheat harvest can get delayed, and then you're late on your soybean planting, or you can't get it in. So the government's going to move how the insurance works on that. A smart move. The one thing we know in the world, there's always demand for food. Brazil is moving like there's no tomorrow to take over lion's shares of corn and soybean production. So we have to be smart in what we do, and wheat is a monster crop. Ukraine we can't count on with the war going on. They're the fifth exporter, the fifth largest, but we can do better. So I find that interesting. And you're going to see that in corporations and the like. And the other thing we all have to worry about is this. You know, I keep reading these articles of these analysts that write these the things, especially some at the different big banks. And they're trying to say, well, you know, the corporations, they really haven't cut back their forward guidance. What are they reading? I am seeing company upon company cutting it. The Best Buys of the world, all the retailers of the world. Chewy today cut its guidance for the next quarter. Chewy. We all buy our stuff for our animals. Where's my Ivy? But that is exactly what goes on. So, you know, you start pulling back because you got to spend on your rent that's gone up. If you're reading rent, some have gone up 30% in different areas of the country. Mortgages. If you have a mortgage, probably if it's variable of any type, you're going to see an increase in that. Taxes going up everywhere you look. Not much relief, and this is what I don't get when I read those articles. In any case, I look at a company like GameStop. I just brought it on to do it. I don't think I've ever covered it. How many days in a row do you have down on this? Every day it's making a lower and low day since all the way back here at 44.36. So now you're sitting roughly $17 under that. The interesting thing is you're starting to come into the support areas of back here. So I can make an argument, you're probably getting to a point here you want to be a little bit cautious in the market, because where the Bollinger Band is, you move to the right-hand side, you don't seem to want to stay under it, and you have an embedded reading. So I would think that the first attempts on rallies are going to fail, but if the red line crosses over 21 on a close, that'd be a sign that you're going to make a run for these moving averages. If you get up to them without losing that red line over it, that's where the pros are going to sell. It's really that simple. If you take my enhanced Bollinger Band course, I'll show the ad at the end of this. That's how you learn all this. It's so easy. 13 chapters, brings you right up to date, and all of a sudden you got your doctorate degree in understanding momentum and Bollinger Bands, and you'll go, whoa, 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 this is really something to see. AMC. Saturday's $3 movie day, a chain upon chain across America, a smart move by the Movie Theater Association to try to get people to come into the theaters and go hungry, help them out and buy concessions. I used to have, when I had a theater, $2, actually we went to $2, then $1 movie night. The problem is the people flooded us, but they didn't buy the concession, so we had to stop the program. buy the concessions, we keep the program. Pretty simple, and that's what they're saying to you here. Apple, you're underneath everything. Now, you don't stay under the Bollinger Band more than 5% of the time, and including today, you're 8 days away from the announcement on September 7th. Somewhere along the line, you're going to get your short covering now. I'm not a bottom picker, but you're oversold. You're under the Bollinger Band. I want no part of that. Disney, I'm just not bullish. Why would I be bullish? I don't see any big blockbuster movies coming out. If anything, I think people are going to cut streaming even further as they look at their bills. I'm looking into the first time YouTube TV to save on my main package, all right? Why not? All my friends are doing it. They have a lot more than I do. And that's what people are starting to do. So I'm not a fan of this. I think that there's serious issues going on right now with all these things. And with the parks not bringing in any money, you're coming to the end of the summer. I can understand the selling pressure. Financials, what are they going to tell you to do? I mean, it's rough. It's rough to loan. It's rough to pay the interest on it. Mortgage business has gone, you know where. Rough bit game right now. Industrial sector, well, the government wants to shut down industry to a degree. Didn't he say there's going to be pain? Today, you heard Snap laying off 20% of its workforce. So this is going on. I'm not saying Snap's industry, but it is. It's the tech industry. And boom. But you're down to the 100-day average, the Bollinger Band. What do I teach you to do down there? That's where you take a piece of your money off the table, if not all of it. I wouldn't be scared of going through as a trader, going through into Friday's jobs data with nothing. I have no idea what's going to happen with that. You're already down hard. What do you do? Semiconductor, same thing. First challenge now, the 100-day. That number, as far as I'm concerned, if you're bear, you're on borrowed time. I'm not bullish, but you're probably going to get a bounce out of this. Same thing in the home builders. The only guys in home builders that are probably making money are your upper end, your custom builders, the tolls that sell homes for $900,000. Those are expensive homes. But the $200,000 to $400,000 range, I know it sounds like I'm saying the wrong thing. These are the guys getting hurt because those are the homes that people aren't buying right now. The guy with the money buying those other homes is it. XLE, you just lost the embedded reading. What do I tell traders when you lose the embedded reading? That's why I want you to take this course that we'll talk about. I tell you in the most simplest of English, this is where you just call it a day. Just call it a day. The odds favor you're going to drop down to 78.82, the 87, the 18-day average, if not lower. That's what I think is going to happen unless you re-embed right away tomorrow. We'll see if that happens. I doubt it. In gold, the government's out to break inflation. Interest rates are paying a lot more money now. Why do you want to own gold? It's an inflation hedge, right? It's a storage of value, right? In inflation, I don't know that it is a storage of value. The strong dollar, does that help gold or hurt it? That's been another issue that you got. Same thing in the miners. If the gold has got problems, the miners got real sores. What about copper? Back and forth right now. Whipsaw action. I've told you this was going to happen as you narrowed in these Bollinger Bands. I don't expect a breakout down or to the upside. This market's going to mark time. Today, the Communist Party in China announced that the People's Congress is going to meet October 15th for the big election. So President Xi is going to be rewarded for destroying the Chinese economy and with it, creating havoc throughout everybody that was their trade partner. All I can tell is countries around the world, run away from China. It makes no sense. They have not altered their COVID-19 policy. And the last I looked, COVID-19 has not been resolved. Vaccines work. I'm a living proof of it, and so are other people. Shutdowns where you take a whole economy and you shut them in blocks at a time, cities of 15 million at a time, and that's the solution? TLT. Okay. So we know what the government's told us, that it's the short end that's going to come up. The back end will labor to get sharply higher rates, and that's what you're seeing because this covers the 20-year plus. The higher it goes, it's telling you that that's the issue going on, but it's not in an uptrend. It's a bear market rally there. Dollar. If you lose the embedded reading, out I'd be. Barring that, I'm still looking again for higher prices. Lose the embedded reading, I'd be gone. And the flip-flop, lose the embedded reading in FXE, which it's knocking on the door of doing. So you need to have a good down day tomorrow to keep this market from not losing that. Otherwise, the odds favor you're going to get a rally in the euro, a break in the dollar. Just the opposite of what you're hearing on TV stations. So I tell you, I believe in this Bollinger Band technical indicator combined with momentum is a phenomenal timing tool. That's what I use it for. If market hits these areas, hey, I don't need to get the last penny out of a market if I'm on the right side of it. Let me take something off the table. Take a look at this. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time, and on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein, on the road to your education.